Welcome back to Healthier Daily. Let's start with a startling fact. 1 in 2 women and 1 in 4 men over the age of 50 will break a bone due to osteoporosis. After a major hip fracture, the statistics become even more grim. This is the silent epidemic of bone loss that many of us fear. But what if you could fight back, significantly strengthening your bones in just 5 minutes a day with no special equipment? To show us how, we are deeply honored to have Japan's oldest practicing physician, Dr. Shigeki Hinohara, with us today. At over 100 years old, he is a living testament to the body's incredible resilience. Doctor, with such concerning statistics, is it truly possible for seniors to reverse this decline in bone strength?
Thank you, Doctor. Carter, those numbers create great fear, and I understand why. We see our parents grow frail. We feel a little less stable on our own feet, and we start to believe that a fall or a fracture is inevitable. We are told a story that our bones are like stone and that they only wear down and become more brittle over time until one day they break. But I am here today to tell you and your audience that this story is not the only truth. Your bones are not dead stone. They are alive. They are listening. I have seen 80-year-olds regain balance. I have seen 90-year-olds stand taller and walk with more confidence without new medicines or machines. What changed for them was not their age. It was their attention. It was the simple, consistent message they began to send to their bodies for just 5 minutes each day. That is where the healing begins.
The power of attention, 5 minutes a day. That is an incredibly hopeful message. If you or someone you love is concerned about bone health, fall risk, or feeling less stable than you used to, please type a 1 in the comments below. Let's see how many of us are ready to start this journey back to strength together. Dr. Hinohara, you said in your introduction that our bones are alive and listening. This is a concept that might be new to many people who think of their skeleton as a fixed, static structure, like the frame of a building. In Western medicine, we have a fundamental principle that speaks directly to this. It's called Wolff's Law.
Wolff's Law? It sounds very serious and academic. Please, explain what this means in simple terms for our audience at home.
It is a foundational principle of orthopedics established way back in the 19th century, and it's more relevant today than ever. In simple terms, Wolff's Law states that the bones of a healthy person will adapt to the loads under which they are placed. If you put gentle, consistent stress or load on a bone through walking, standing, or targeted exercises, it will remodel itself over time to become stronger and denser to resist that specific load. Conversely, if you remove the load by becoming sedentary, the bone senses it is no longer needed, and it will become weaker and less dense. It is the ultimate use it or lose it principle, applied directly to our skeleton.
That is a perfect scientific explanation for what I call the conversation with your bones. For many years, perhaps you have not spoken to your bones. You have lived upstairs in your mind and forgotten about the foundation of your house. When you become sedentary, when you stop moving with intention, you are giving your bones the silent treatment. They feel ignored, unneeded, and so they begin to fade away. The 5-minute practice we will discuss is not exercise in the way people think of it. It is a quiet, daily conversation where you say to your bones, "I am here, you are still needed, please be strong for me." You are reestablishing communication.
And we can now look inside the bone with modern technology and see that conversation happening at a cellular level. Inside every living bone, you have a constant remodeling process carried out by a remarkable team of two different types of cells. You have the osteoclasts, which I like to call the demolition crew. Their job is to find old, worn-out bits of bone tissue and dissolve them, clearing away the old material. And right behind them, you have the osteoblasts, who are the construction crew. Their job is to come in and build new, strong, healthy bone matrix in its place.
And in our youth, this team of builders and demolishers is perfectly balanced. The construction crew works just as fast or even faster than the demolition crew. The house is strong. But as we age, especially if we become inactive and stop our conversation, the demolition crew can start to work much faster than the building crew. This is the very definition of what we call osteoporosis. The house is being torn down faster than it is being rebuilt.
Exactly. And the key to rebalancing this team, to telling the builders, the osteoblasts, to get back to work, is a process called mechanotransduction. It sounds like a very complicated word, but the concept is simple. It's the process where your bone cells convert mechanical signals, like the gentle pressure from your own body weight when you stand straight, or the gentle pull from your muscles, into biochemical work orders. A 2024 review in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research described it this way. When a bone cell feels that gentle, positive stress, it releases chemical signals that effectively shout to the osteoblasts, "We need reinforcements over here. Start building more bone matrix." The routine we are about to teach is designed specifically to generate thousands of these gentle, positive signals without ever overloading the joints.
And the word gentle is the most important word. Many people think they must go to a gym and lift heavy weights to send this signal. For a young athlete, that may be so. But for a person of 70, 80, or 90, a loud shouting signal can cause injury. The bones of an older person listen better to a consistent whisper than to a rare shout. The gentle pressure of your own body weight, when aligned correctly, is the perfect whisper. It says to the bones, "Be strong," without ever saying, "Be stressed."
A consistent whisper. I love that. So to summarize the science before we get into the actual routine, our bones are living, intelligent tissues that are constantly remodeling. They respond to the mechanical signals we give them through a process called mechanotransduction. By applying gentle, consistent signals every day, we can stimulate our bone-building cells, the osteoblasts, to work harder, which can slow, halt, or in some cases, even reverse age-related bone loss. It's a truly hopeful biological reality. Dr. Hinohara, the science you've laid out is clear and incredibly hopeful. Our bodies are alive and ready to rebuild. So let's move from the why to the how. Please walk us through this 5-minute conversation with the bones. For a person at home, perhaps feeling a bit hesitant or unsure, where do they begin?
We begin with the simplest and most honest teacher we have, a flat, empty wall. You need no special clothes, no mats, no machines, just you and a vertical surface. The wall is a kind teacher because it does not lie. It will show you, without judgment, exactly where your body is in space. I ask my patients to start by standing with their back against the wall. Your heels should be a few inches away from the wall, not pressed right against it. Your feet should be about hip width apart, pointing forward. Now simply allow your buttocks and your shoulder blades to make gentle contact with the wall. Do not force anything.
And what about the head? I imagine for many people, especially with the forward head posture from years of looking at screens, their head won't naturally touch the wall.
That is a very important point, and you are correct. Many will find their head is positioned forward away from the wall. I tell them, Do not strain your neck to force your head back to touch it. That is the old way of thinking, the way of force. The goal of this first step is simply awareness. Lengthen the back of your neck as if a string is gently pulling the crown of your head toward the ceiling, and simply notice the space between your head and the wall. That awareness is the first part of the conversation. This simple act of standing was the entire practice for the first week for my patient, Mrs. Sato. She was a beautiful ballroom dancer in her youth, but at 72, she felt she had lost all her grace. She walked with a slight stoop, always looking at the ground, afraid she might stumble. For the first few days of this practice, she told me, "Doctor, this is foolish. I am just standing." But I asked her to persist. I asked her to feel the wall supporting her, to feel her feet on the ground. By the end of that first week, she told me something remarkable. She said, "I feel taller." She had not grown, of course. She had simply remembered what it felt like to be upright. Her body remembered its alignment.
She remembered. That's powerful. You're talking about retraining a sense called proprioception. This is essentially your brain's internal GPS. Its sense of where your body parts are in space without you having to look at them. As we age and become more sedentary, this sense can dull, which is a major contributor to poor balance and an increased risk of falls. Standing against the wall like that provides clear, undeniable feedback to the brain, helping to recalibrate that internal map. So once a person is comfortable just standing and feeling that alignment, what comes next?
Before we add movement, we add breath. While standing against the wall in your best alignment, I ask my patients to take 3 slow, deliberate breaths. Breathe in through the nose, and as you do, imagine your ribcage expanding not just forward, but sideways, into the wall. As you exhale slowly through your mouth, feel your shoulder blades gently melt against the wall's surface. This breath connects the mind to the physical body. It calms the nervous system and prepares the muscles for a new instruction.
So we found our alignment and connected with our breath. Now for the movement itself. You call it the snow angel motion?
Yes, but a very, very slow and mindful snow angel. From your starting position against the wall, bend your elbows to a 90-degree angle so your arms make a shape like a goalpost. Now, try to keep your shoulders, your elbows, and the backs of your wrists in gentle contact with the wall. Again, if they cannot touch without strain, do not force them. Just be aware. Then very slowly, begin to slide your arms up the wall, perhaps just a few inches. Then just as slowly, slide them back down to the starting position. The entire movement is very small. The goal is not to reach high. The goal is to maintain that gentle connection with the wall as you move. That is the work. Do this just 5 to 8 times.
This seemingly simple movement is brilliant from a therapeutic standpoint. You are activating the entire posterior chain of postural muscles. You're engaging the deep spinal extensors that run along the spine, the rhomboids and mid-trapezius muscles between your shoulder blades, and the crucial rotator cuff muscles. These are the very muscles that weaken and lengthen over time, leading to that stooped forward posture. And doing this exercise against a wall provides stability and immediate feedback, making it an incredibly safe way for seniors to strengthen these muscles without any risk of falling or using improper form. It's what we call a closed chain exercise in physical therapy, and it's a gold standard for safe rehabilitation.
So, the full 5 minutes is this: 1 minute of finding your posture against the wall and taking those 3 deep breaths. 3 minutes of performing the slow, mindful, no angel movements, and one final minute of just standing in silence again, with your arms resting at your sides, noticing how your body feels, noticing the new awareness. That is all. But done every day, this small conversation truly transforms the body's understanding of itself and its own strength.
5 minutes to have a conversation that can rebuild strength and confidence. It's simple, safe, and profoundly effective. The wisdom in this practice is truly universal. To get a sense of our wonderful, healthier daily community, please take a moment to type your city, state, or country in the comments below. It's a joy to see where this message of hope and healing is reaching. Dr. Hinahara, that 5-minute routine is so simple and accessible. What I find most profound is the fundamental shift in mindset, from forcing the body with strenuous exercise to communicating with it through these gentle, consistent signals. It's a completely different and more respectful approach to building strength after 60.
It is the only approach that respects the wisdom of an older body. A body that has lived many years does not want to be shouted at with intense workouts. It responds best to a kind daily whisper. This consistent whisper of mindful movement is what reawakens the body's natural ability to be strong. True strength is not just about the size of the muscle. It is about the intelligence of the entire system working together in harmony.
And that intelligent system is key. The postural muscles along the spine that you're activating with that wall routine are the deep core stabilizers. When these muscles are strong and awake, they provide a stable base from which all other movement originates. A stable core and an aligned spine are the true foundation for confident balance and real leg strength.
Exactly. You cannot have strong, healthy branches on a weak tree trunk. You must strengthen the center first. I urge everyone listening not to be discouraged if you do not feel a big change on the first day. The body learns slowly, but it never forgets. Be patient with it. Simply show up for your 5-minute conversation each day, and your body will begin to trust you again.
Building trust with your own body, that's a beautiful goal. Dr. Hinahara, thank you for sharing this powerful yet gentle practice with us. You've offered a practical path for anyone looking to improve their posture, their balance, and their overall leg strength. To our incredible community at Healthier Daily, we hope you feel inspired to begin this conversation with your body. As always, please remember that this information is for educational purposes. It is essential to consult with your physician or a physical therapist before starting any new exercise routine, especially if you have existing spinal conditions, severe osteoporosis, or balance issues. If you found this guide helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more wisdom on healthy aging. Reclaiming your body's stability is a vital step in maintaining your leg strength and your independence for years to come. In the comments below, please tell us, are you willing to commit to this 5-minute routine for 1 week? I'm Dr. Ben Carter. Move with intention, be well, and we'll see you next time.